So what's really important to think about is whether or not the experiences that your employees create for your brand, are they passionately representing your brand? Or are they creating more of a saga of war and peace, of what it's like to do business with your brand? And this is really important because every year, a company called Edelman PR, they do a survey that's called the Edelman Trust Barometer. And what it does is it surveys thousands of people from around the globe. And they said, when you're looking for information, where is it that you go to find it? Like, who do you trust for the information that you read? And they said, well, you know, the people we trust the least are the media and companies. Okay, and so what do we do as marketers? We're that voice of the company. So who do people trust when they're looking for information? It's the employees. So if you think about what experience are your employees creating for the brand, because that's what your audience trusts, then you have to think about, we really need to be able to empower employees to be able to create amazing brand experiences. We don't want a customer service interaction with the customer to make it so bad that we as marketers have to go back and rebuild credibility and trust with our audience, because we have enough problems finding budget and resource to build our communities to start with, and then to have to go back and make up ground, it's pretty tough. So what we want to think about is, what if our employees, what if we armed our employees to truly be the voice of our brand? And we trusted what they said. And we were okay with who we put them in front of. So my question for you is, how do we actually inspire and empower employees to create the kind of brand experience that we want them to create as content marketers? So we know the kind of experience we want customers to have, but what's the kind of experience we want employees to create for our brand? So one important thing is that we need to create an emotional connection between employees and our company. Because we know as content marketers, externally, it's those customers who have a really, really deep emotional connection to our brand. They are so loyal. They're our ambassadors. They're our evangelists. Well, what about employees? Because they're really the toughest audience of all that we have the hardest time connecting with. Here you go.
So I think that's really well put. And you know, Carla and I, we've been doing content marketing for a long time. And we've seen a lot of different programs that we run for customers, both on the B2B side, on the B2C side, with customers, with partners. But it really is the employees that's the hardest one to crack. And it is, as Carla's saying, like when you're trying to tell the story to the person that makes the product, they will often look dismissively about it, saying, well, hey, I built the product. What could you tell me about what our story is? Like, I should tell you what our story is. So there's a bit of it's a tough audience. So why focus on the employees is kind of the first thing. When you look at it, why would you focus on engaging your employees to focus on developing the story of the brand and promoting the story of the brand, or engaging the employees? According to the Gallup poll, if you look at U.S. corporations, they lose about $400 to $500 billion of productivity as a result of non-engaged employees. So the employees are not engaged with the company. As a result, there's a huge cost saving, or there's a huge productivity loss from this. This represents a greenfield opportunity for us as content marketers in terms of going after that audience and engaging in them. Not only that, but if you look at employees, 41% of employees actually don't know what their company stands for, and they don't know what their competitive differentiation is. 41%. So nearly half of employees don't know what the company stands for and doesn't know what its differentiation is. Again, it's a huge missed opportunity, and this is why this whole topic is such a greenfield space, that if you can move the needle on these numbers, it makes a significant difference in terms of business performance. So what's the implication of actually of 41% not knowing the story or not being able to articulate differentiators? Specifically, there's three stats that we have here. The first is, if you look at it from the customer's perspective, 68% of customers leave because of employee attitude. So you could have the best product in the world, you could have the best service in the world, but if the employee experience is not great for that customer, they leave. So over 2/3 leave as a result of that. 51% of customers are loyal because of a good employee attitude. So again, has nothing to do with the offer. It has to do with the employee in terms of how they're engaging that employee. And then finally, 70% of customers' brand perception is determined by the experience they have with people. So you see this whole aspect of what is your face to the customer or to any group that you're working with. Your employee has a huge impact in terms of how that's done. And I think this again is why I think it's such a significant opportunity for us in terms of marketers.